country.
Well, last year only 2 players in the country led their teams in scoring, rebounding, assists, steals, and blocks. Cooper Flagg at Duke and Yaxel Lendeborg at UAB. He's a star.
So versatile both offensively and defensively. Morez Johnson Jr. the user into Gungba. Kick to the corner. Evans. Now 0 for 3 out there. Boozer with the offensive rebound, and he's fouled by Mara.
Just quicker to the ball than Mara. Nobody able to get a body on Cameron Boozer. He is an excellent rebounder at both ends of the floor, and he always goes after it with 2 hands.
And Cameron Boozer will see more size than he has seen all season. Dusty May, second year as head coach in Ann Arbor. Remember, he took Florida Atlantic to the Final Four a couple of years ago. Michigan to go 7-3, 6-9, 6-9 across the front line, although obviously not all 3 of them are in there all the time. Boozer can shoot the 3. Sarr with a wow. He is a weapon for Dusty May.
Well, Michigan does a lot of switching. Right now, Lendeborg is on Cameron Boozer.
Out of the gym when they are playing their best. Cadeau misses the 3 and a rebound in traffic for Foster.
Duke's guards have got to get in and rebound. That's really important in this game.
Evans with the quick release and the corner 3. Lendeborg into the chest of Boozer. Cost him a couple of years, but boy, once he turned things around and got going academically, played in his senior year, then to junior college, then UAB, then to Michigan, and next stop is the pros. He is a talent. Malik Brown into the game for Duke.
A good job by Roddy Yale Jr. to stay down on that shot fake. He stays down in a stance, plays low.
Got to deal with Boozer right now. Almost took it away from him. Sophomore L.J. Kaysen, who's been on a roll in recent games.
His last 3 games, 14 points a game, 13 of 19 from the floor, and he knocks down his first in this one.
How about Michigan? 7 for 9 from the floor in this one.
Well, Duke's got to be able to attack some of these switches. You're going to get some matchups that may be in your favor.
Boozer misses the 3. Mara the rebound, and look at the long outlet. Swatted out of bounds by Iowa State. What a day and night of college basketball.
Duke has to figure out a way to get a Mara away from the basket. And they want to put him in as many ball screens as they can.
Boozer right into his chest, and a foul.
He blocked the shot after the contact, but the initial contact was ruled a foul.
So that could be it for Mara for the rest of the half. We'll see how Dusty May plays it.
Boozer just goes right into his chest, not once but twice. Yeah, that's tough, man. He blocked that shot.
So that is a loss for Michigan. Morez Johnson Jr. comes back in. Kaysen on him. Now Cam Boozer, 10 to shoot. Spinning into the paint. Kicks it to Foster. Got it!
Boy, what a play and what a find by Cameron Boozer after spinning. Could still keep his poise and find Caleb Foster for that 3.
And it's all tied up at 19, just over 7 minutes into this one. Johnson one-on-one with Boozer. 2 physical, strong guys. Johnson lays it in. Then he realized, and he lays it in.
Just miscommunication as you had 2 guarding Isaiah Evans and Nicholas Hemenia, and they just lost Hemenia on an easy cut.
Duke by 3, nearing the midway point of the first half. Lendeborg an air ball.
Yeah, not a good shot by Lendeborg, just off 1 pass.
Evans doesn't need much space, can't hit it.
Well, that was a great screen by Gungba to get Evans open. The 3-point line has been an important factor to Duke in this first half.
How about Cadeau? A no-look off the bench. Duke also goes 9 deep generally. Darren Harris sometimes will play, sometimes won't for John Shire. Cameron Boozer. Look at how physical and determined he is getting to the glass.
Boozer set a hard screen. Michigan switched, and he could take on a guard, McKinney, up at the top.
And his dad, Carlos, sitting just a few feet away from us. Loving what he is seeing again tonight from both of his sons, into Cameron and Caden.
Now, Carlos Boozer bullied a few guys in his career.
Mara the kick.
Good fake.
Boozer has to switch on to McKinney. He'll hoist, can't hit. Boozer the rebound. One in this game still tied.
He's missed all 3 of his attempts in this one.
Boozer. And tomorrow morning on ESPN, the Women's College Game Day crew will be in Columbia, South Carolina at 11 a.m. Eastern to get you set for a big day of basketball. It'll be number 3 South Carolina hosting number 17 Ole Miss at noon, and then Oklahoma and Tennessee. The afternoon is capped off with number 12 TCU and Iowa State. 1 of 2 for Boozer. One end of a 1-and-1.
Michigan needs to play more to the second and third action in a possession.
Johnson the handoff to Cadeau. Lots of time. Back to Johnson. Whoa! 16.
Duke has an advantage if they go inside to Gungba.
Boozer drives into a crowd. Lendeboer got knocked down. Boozer. Sarr up top, guarded by McKinney. Shot clock at 7. Boozer to Boozer. Gale defending him. Cadeau the double. Boozer scores. There have been some games where he's been much more of a distributor. Some games where they've needed his shooting. Into Johnson, keeps the dribble alive. Blocked from behind. Sarr's got it.
A good challenge at the rim by Cameron Boozer. Whereas Johnson Jr. just mishandled that ball. Otherwise, he might have had an easy bucket.
Malik Brown off the fingertips of Gale, out of bounds, still Duke ball. So Brown into the game early in the second half as Gungba has gone to the bench.
Lendeboer matching up with Cam Boozer.
Pick and roll, now Gale on him. Boozer behind the back. Nice pass.
Cover and block that shot. And he blocked it 50 feet.
Again, Boozer and Lendeboer. Brown the screen.
Got the switch.
Evans the 3. Yes! No look pass. Lendeboer to Cadeau. Now Gale. Johnson. 1-on-1 with Boozer. Up, no good. And down with it is Brown for Duke.
Boy, Duke's defensive rebounding has been excellent.
Foster now playing with 3 fouls. Evans feeling it. Misses the corner 3.
Heck of a block out by Morez Johnson Jr. on Malik Brown.
And Lendeboer more at the defensive end than they are at the offensive end.
Well, the 2 best defensive teams in the country shouldn't be too much of a surprise.
Sarr, what a pass. Boozer blocked. On ABC, Arizona without Koa Pete with a big road win in Houston. Huge win for Tommy Lloyd's team.
And 2 straight games by Anthony Del Orso of 22 points.
Di Mara, how you gonna?
Boy, Duke's got numbers.
Sarr, cross court, Evans. Boozer the rebound. Foster. Michigan, Duke's got 9. Evans, no. Boozer has it.
Boy, Boozer just in a crowd fighting with 2 hands to get that rebound.
Up to 7 rebounds now and give him a bucket and more. And up to 11 points. 7 assists and 7 rebounds. He may wind up with a triple-double in this game.
We're talking about a complete basketball player in Cameron Boozer.
Cadeau on the bench, Kaysen at the point. They can run a lot of offense through Mara, a gifted passer. Good job by Sarr. Boy, he can stay in front of just about anybody. Lendeboer won't challenge Boozer. Shot clock running down. Kaysen knows it. Got the rim, tipped back out, and coming right to us. 59 into the second half.
Di Mara guarding Patrick Gungba, and you've got Morez Johnson Jr. picking up Cam Boozer. Got to walk. That play designed as a handoff action to fake it so that Cam Boozer can get to that right-hand drive down the lane line. Just went a little early and walked with it.
First turnover committed this half by the Blue Devils. Can the Wolverines get clicking offensively? They have not looked like themselves for much of the night.
And a lot of that has to do with Duke's defense. They have been very, very active.
Nice look inside. Johnson. Tough angle, but he gets it to go. The finish.
Boy, Duke is getting some really good movement from side to side. That slot ball screen, just a roll down the middle of the lane. Beautifully done.
Kaysen shakes Sarr. Lendeborg blocked by Boozer. Off the fingertips of Gumba. It's Michigan ball. Mara wants it.
What a pass.
Back to Johnson. No foul. Two-man game, Boozer and Gumba. Mara on Boozer with the shot clock running down. Got back his own miss. And a foul. More college action coming your way on this Saturday night. Kentucky and Auburn are just about ready to get going. They will tip at 8:40 on ESPN News, and then a little later on, Iowa State and BYU, 10:30 Eastern at the Marriott Center in Provo. So Jay
by Mara.
And he is checking his chiclets. He looks like he might have taken a shot in the mouth and was feeling for a couple of teeth maybe. 3-point game inside 2 minutes to go.
Good pass.
Boozer wants it. Look at the defense by Johnson.
Going 1-4 low.
Inside 10 on the shot clock. Boozer driving. Blocked, but it's a